Hello, Mary.
Hi, Brian.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
That's awesome. Do you do anything fun this weekend?
Thank you. And you?
Good. A little warm for my taste, but I was actually looking forward to some cooler weather.
Yeah, it was really warm today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went for a little walk. I went to the grocery store that's around my house and got a little sweat on the way there. Thought it'd be a little cooler with the. Seems to be like a storm rolling in, but hasn't really affected the weather that much.
We had rain on the coast, so it's probably coming your way eventually.
Oh, okay, well, send it this way. We welcome it. Anything to get into like the under hundreds would be nice.
Yep.
Are you from here, David, or are you from here originally?
Sorry,
Are you from here?
Arizona?
Yes.
My brother went to Arizona State. I've been there when it's been 117 degrees, and I said, nah, no, thank you.
You'll stick to your California
My
weather.
daughter lives in Vegas, and she gets enough heat.
Yeah. That's about the same thing, I think. I had my best friends for a while. They were in Vegas. Anytime I visited them, it felt the same as here. The altitude is a little different.
Yeah.
Sun angles at you. Okay, good. People are just coming in here, and then I'm going to start her up probably in the next minute. Everyone can see my screen just fine.
Yes.
Awesome. Got a little more than half, so I'll just start rolling. Stocks 101, episode 17. Stocks explained to the beginner. This week we're going to go over Dump Your Financial Advisor. My name is Ryan Reich, website makestocksfun.com. If you want a transcript of today's seminar, please look at our website, makestocksfun.com. Funny financials, buy low, laugh later. Quote of the week, you'll either learn to manage money or lack of it will manage you. And this statement is absolutely true. I know how you feel, and my promise to you is, I can guide you to stock success. My name is Brian Reich. I'm a successful stock investor. My goal is to be a stock millionaire. In these sessions, I want to pass on my knowledge of wins and losses so you can enjoy the success I have today. Last week's exciting episode, we discussed CDs versus stocks, which is better for the investor. We discussed CD rates, 5.25 over a 3-month time period. And for stocks, we discussed 82 companies that doubled in 2023. Who's the captain of your ship, and has he been drinking? Has he taken the golden brick road to stock success, and now he wants to share his journey out of the kindness of his heart? More importantly, does he have your best interests at heart? Does he care more about his own interests? We'll dive into that in a little while. You think you need a financial advisor because you're programmed to think this way. Most of the news blips and strong advertising are done by the big boys. They want you to think they are the only game in town. They make you feel this must be done this way, or you're foolish, or the lone wolf. With our loving, supporting community, you don't have to be a lone wolf. When you read books, often they are backed by a much bigger resource, such as a mutual fund company. Today's promoted pop star is David Ramsey. I've seen some of his stuff, but mostly just fluff, no meat. It's kind of like Jim Cramer. Who do you guys listen to, by the way?
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Okay. Anything good out there?
I listen to. Let me look. Tom and Don from. Hang on one second. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Let me go. Darn it. I listen to Safe Dividend Investing. I listen to DIY Money.
Okay.
I listen to Money Matters. I listen to Your Money, Your Wealth. I listen to Sound Investing. I listen to Talking Real Money. You know, you listen to all of it, like you said, it's a lot of fluff.
Mhm.
It's their opinion. At the end of the day, it's your opinion.
Right. Absolutely. Anybody else you like? Anybody you're currently
I
listening to?
subscribed to Motley Fool for a while.
Okay, I did that too. I like them. Which program were you a part of?
I just got the newsletter that fixed
Okay.
online.
Yeah, they have a bunch of different ones though. You know, like what specific?
I don't remember. Some of the picks worked out, some of the dogs.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't listen to anyone. Is there anyone in particular to recommend?
You know, like as far as I go, I haven't found anybody. Like I like some people in the beginning, and then they don't stick to the plan. It seems like, you know, and they'll jump around a lot. So
Oh,
you know, then I toss them out. So nobody through and through that I found that I personally listened to. Motley Fool, I was a subscriber back in the day. What I really liked about their site back in the day is you could follow certain people, and they had like points for how well they did, and you could kind of follow them to see like their picks and whatnot, their buy and sell recommendations. But for whatever reason, that's no longer part of their website or part of their deal. But yeah, you can listen intently for hours and not get an ounce of information to help your investment game. You know, David looks legit. I just think of how much funding it costs to make it seem this way. Beyond the mirror and smoky room, there is hope. There's hope that you can take actual concepts and proven methods, understand stocks in a way that can make you successful. By understanding numbers and calculations with a dose of patience, will be handsomely rewarded. Why most financial advisors do not add up to much: prestige, fame, title, plush office with a three-piece suit, fancy business card with a college degree. But when you ask what stock positions you're taking on this week, you get a smirk and a childish grin. So how can this be? Are there any good financial advisors out there? Because I've been in this game so long and talked to so many of them, I came up with the 3% rule. I firmly believe 3 out of 100 is truly a financial advisor. You know, meaning that they actually advise, you know, they're in the stocks long term. They're going to be in it 40 years until they die. But why so few? Does it seem logical or fair? You know, next time you hear financial advisor, think salesperson. Companies want to get the hype out. They're, you know, the new Microsoft, and people should take notice. Companies want their shares of stock to skyrocket into Mars and orbit Earth, but only thing that hits home for me is earnings, baby. Show me the financials and let your big talk out the door. You know, in essence, the advisors push the latest and greatest. Advertisers, you know, get hidden incentives from these wannabe good companies to push their stock. Just kind of like the doctor prescribing the latest drug to cure your pains.
Yeah.
You know, the financial advisors get royalties and other incentives to help themselves along their own path to success. At the end of the day, who cares more about your money than you?
No one.
And at the end of the day, who do you want to control your money?
Me.
Exactly. You know, the real question is, do you have what it takes to value your money? If you want to succeed in a stock market game, then you should want to be educated, and MakeStocksFun.com has resources you need. You know, next week we'll discuss everything you need to know about the cryptocurrency market. You know, there's a lot of hype right now on how you can make 15, 20 grand a week and sometimes even per day. And we'll dive into that and answer all your questions on this topic. But yeah, like I was saying, the website, MakeStocksFun.com, I'm working on it all the time. And, you know, I came up with the Paper Trade Club. And I have a little contest going, you know, for the end of the year. And basically, more importantly though, you know, I have a log, so that way, you know, when you join these seminars, I get 10 shares, but you can kind of see like how this plays out over time. And, you know, I will start automatically figuring in the dividends and whatnot so you can see how dollar cost averaging and compound interest takes effect. Does that sound good? But other than that, you know, I strongly recommend to subscribe by giving the email address, and then, you know, I can share my own positions along with a goal setting sheet. So then week after week, you know, you can kind of see how I analyze companies and how we can go into it. Obviously, these are only, you know, 15 to 20 minute sessions, right? So the meat of it obviously has to come into a long-term thing. Does that make sense? Great. Other than that, did anybody have any questions?
No, I think what you say makes sense.
Yeah, and that's my only personal experience. You know, I dealt with financial advisors before I moved out to Arizona, and in talking with them, you know, I just asked questions. You know, I was like, well, what positions are you in? You know, what's your stock analysis? You know, how do you evaluate companies? And a lot of times I just, you know, they had to talk to their manager or something else like that. You know, I was just getting kind of blown off, you know. So it kind of forced me to read my own books. And I'll be coming out with books too, because the stuff that I learned, it's not out there. You know, I go on Instagram a lot. I subscribe to a lot of financial data, YouTube channels, things of that nature. And there's not a lot from what I learned and how I can use it on a day-to-day, you know, when I'm doing my own homework, finding out, you know, when I have 10 grand on a sideline, I want to double it. You know, I use my own analysis for that. And, you know, it's been really working out well in the last few years for me. And, you know, I like to share with everybody, so you guys can have and enjoy the same success I had in the last few years. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Other than that, is there any other questions or?
You know, the main thing is learn all you can. I know that, you know, I have met with many financial brokers, you know, and just for the consultation, and I got a plethora of wealth out of them, but I never went back to them. You just got to be a sponge and just get all, you know, study, read, listen to everything you can do so you understand it.
And what Brian was saying is some of them start out with a good platform, but then they kind of go other places. So then,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I was at a meetup actually a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about options. So I just wanted to, like you said, you know, I brought a notebook, wanted to take notes, see if there's, you know, what they're all doing and what they're involved in.
Right.
And then, you know, they started talking a big game at first, and then I thought for sure, well, this weekend I brought up, well, what's your game plan for next week? And then he started talking about mutual funds and his retirement account. I'm like, so how do we go from options, and you're talking about these things called zebras, and then
Yes.
going to this, you know, mutual funds? It's like, okay, did you lose money, or, you know, or what happened there? But, you know, I'm very authentic because, you know, I started this way of thinking in 2019, and then pandemic is when I hit it big, because that's when the market went down, and I went 100% in my own concepts and everything like that. And this weekend, you know, I sat down and, you know, I go through the FinBits a lot, and I spent, you know, 4 hours over the weekend. I don't know too many mutual fund company portfolio managers that do that, or stock advisors or anything. You know, I do it because to me it's fun. You know, I like searching out what companies are going to double my money, you know, and things like that, because I truly have this goal in mind. And now you guys are like a support group, and I rely on everybody in the community, and I want to lead by example. So, you know, so this week, you know, I sat down and I have my Elite 100. A few companies that are down, then I look at them, and some of the companies here in the Elite 100 didn't. When I looked and examined their earnings, it didn't impress me much, so I have to replace a couple of them. With all that being said, I found only like 3 companies that I'll be looking at this week. And that's it, So I'd recommend to share your email and things like that, and I can talk more about it, because I'm just going to keep analyzing them, see what the market does, and probably load in on a couple good companies this week. And other than that, I'll ask if there's any questions other than that.
Okay. Are you gonna keep doing this program though, right?
Oh yes, yeah, I'm slated
Okay.
until the end of October. I feel a lot of questions and people that have anything for me. That's why, cryptocurrencies, a couple questions on that. So, and it's something of interest. So I definitely want to dive into that. And since I had experience since 2012 with it, I'll share my knowledge, and I'll go into that
Nice
topic.
to do that.
And I'll go into a lot of other topics that keep coming my way, and we'll discuss them as they come up. But otherwise on my website I'm always available, and there's a comment section here. So if you have interest in trading or something like that, you could put a comment down here, like what you're looking at, and I'm on here all the time, so I'll field any questions that you may have or anything like that. But all these, tools are for you guys. I'm setting everything up so we can build a prosperous community and bounce ideas off each other and share different things that we're experiencing and build a strong community, that just keeps going in one direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, if things come up, I'm always here. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life, so we'll just keep doing this week after week and get stronger as we go and everything like that.
But can we go back to the question of the day? Should I become a financial advisor? I've been with Fidelity for a long time.
Okay.
My money was there. That's not, but it's not really true.
Okay.
Fixing they have. I've got a money manager with Beacon. They point to me. They know what they're doing, and it's an excellent. They do better than I do. I'm blind picking.
Okay.
So I think they charge me 1 point. Okay. That's money at the end of the year, but they've done a lot better than I have.
Yeah. Yeah, if they treat you well, by all means, I would, stick it out with them. But on the side, it doesn't hurt to have seminars like this, get some knowledge and things like that, and try something else on the side. I always recommend that. There's no harm in, sticking with what works, and then,
About 20% of my money is stocks and funds that I've picked, and I generally catch a flyer and say, okay, 5 years ago I said, cannabis, what could possibly go wrong with cannabis stocks? That has to work. And 3 years ago it was lithium. Lithium has to work.
Yeah.
I've had a few picks, and maybe some others are wrong. But I just think I sense this has to work, right? Electric cars have to work. So far, Tesla.
well, no,
So,
Tesla made me wealthy pretty much. I got.
Tesla's done great.
Right.
We're trying to get our full cars, electric vehicles that
Right. In mutual funds, keep in mind, they have to buy stock, and the thing with them, they're a slow-moving horse because they have to buy a lot of volume, right? So when they enter position, some of their positions can take 2.5 years, versus you can be in and out in a matter of weeks, so you can, and buy in small increments too, right? So you can get what you want out of it, set your goals accordingly, And to me, it works out a lot better. Especially with the homework I do, I make sure, the earnings are there. And like this company I found out about this weekend, it took me 2 years before now I'm confident that I want to start loading in. So, if you have patience and good fundamentals, you definitely can have a lot of success in the stock market.
Now, is this your full-time job?
Yes, this is what I do. Yeah, this is who I am. I'm the real article. Yeah, like I said, I'll have books out there and resources and guides and everything else. And I get on the company call. I have company calls, because if I really like a company or have doubts about it, I'll call them. I'll talk to the HR and I'll talk to random people, and I'll just ask questions. I'll be like, why did you choose this job over anything else out there? And it's just fascinating what they'll tell me, and a lot of times they'll tell me something that I can use, to help me out later on. Does that make sense? And that stuff, I want to put on YouTube too, because all that's very, it's information age. I think you can learn a lot from a lot of conversations that take place. And like I said, I want to see if what I have is the best information out there. And to me it is, because I research a lot, and to me, I don't see what I should be getting as an end user. Does that make sense? That's why I wanted to create this company, because a lot of people came to me and they're like, I trust you, I know you're good, I know you had success in stocks. Show me where we go from here. And I had so many of those inquiries, and then I relate to that too, because I read books at Barnes all the time, and I have my Kindle and whatnot, and do my own research. I go down that same road, and I always end up to what I have, my analysis and everything else. It's just about fundamentals. The earnings per share are either there or they're not. If the companies don't have that, I look the other way. And not many companies do. Like I took the 4 hours, I found 2 or 3 companies that I'm familiar with already. Nothing new. So very few companies go through my rigid process, to get to the other side. But it's worth it for me when I find it. I appreciate.
So how does this work? So do you have a group?
I have
you suggest?
Yeah, I suggest my website here, and then you can subscribe to it. And then, like, I'm making a dream log. So basically, people that subscribe, then I'll have your goals incorporated, and then I'll let you know more of what I'm doing too. And you can see like the stocks I'm looking, and then I can share everything with you guys from there. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously, these are just 20-minute sessions, just to get a good feel of what I am, so you can see me live and let you know who I am. And I'm a real human being. I like pickleball, I love chess. I love, my brain likes to calculate, so I know you don't know me from Adam, a lot of you, so to you, I'm new, but for the ones that helped me start this thing, I'm always here. They can attest to, my durability, I guess, and who I really am. But other than that, I will end the session now. It's been fun.